Hey, greetings. This is Classic Games Redefined. My name's Rich, and this is a food for thought I want to give across here. I'm going to discuss my rule of five. It relates to board games, but can apply to anything else that you want to engage with people and being an ambassador and growth in an industry. Okay, let me discuss rule five, and then I'll go a little bit of details from it. And you're watching this, if you're this far into it, watch the video and give your thoughts below. I want to have a discussion here. It's not a matter of me just getting up on a platform and thumbs up, thumbs down, but let's discuss this. Okay. My rule of five when it relates to board game, tabletop games is I personally, because I want to reach out to people and be an ambassador and stuff with this, is I would like to have 5 to 7 games that'll fit about any equation, every occasion. So, with about anybody else who remotely likes games, I can find about 5 games. If I go less than 5, it gets boring. You can push more. If you have 10, a dozen, that's great, but you hope for 5 at least. 5 to 7. So you can rotate them and they get fresh. Plus, and this is where you'll see why I bring up genres, you can't guarantee that everybody's going to like the same 5 games. There is no way. It doesn't work that way. That's why genre, certain people will like certain things, certain people don't, and they may not find it. But if I want to reach out trying to read, I try to connect with them. And it's important from a game perspective. Games as far as an activity, a pastime, leisure time, leisure being what you choose to do with your time, is unique compared to about every single other medium that you're doing. I mean, there's other mediums where if you're a creator, you're getting invested in, but if you're doing it with somebody, you have to be involved. Think about movies or music or somebody else. If you're sharing it with somebody, somebody could be in a passive mode. But games, the person you're playing with has to be connecting with this. They have to be engaged or it's not fun. If they're passively going along, you see they're not enjoying themselves, you're not enjoying yourself. If you're not getting any remark out of them, even if it's your frustration you both can laugh at, that's fine. And certain experiences are different. You might want to play a really scary game or something else there. Game with a lot of drama and tension, like Diplomacy or Werewolf or Resistance, and I'll discuss Resistance in a future video here. It's a really good game, tabletop game. Even the first-person shooter video game stuff where you have, and particularly the experience, the simulator, so video games act as simulators, so you can do horror, shock horror. You have to be engaged with it. You can't treat it passively. You have to be into the environment, be alert and aware, or you'll do badly, or you won't have fun, and you certainly won't be fun for the people playing, particularly if you don't have the same tone that they are. And there's a challenge involved with it. Other medium don't have that. You just can go with guys watch a movie. Somebody could fake it, have an artist doing things, you show the artwork, you can fake it. You might want to connect, the artist wants to connect, but game, you're doing art almost every single time you play if it's something that's replayable. So, that's why I say rule of 5. I want to be able to engage and connect with people here. It won't be the same type of game. So, if it's dozens, that's great, but I can't guarantee them that everybody likes everything. And that's where I get upset a little bit with the AAA industry. I'm taking a little sidebar here. They want to make everything that appeals to mass people, and then they'll throw everything in a cousin in there. And here's the design principle. If you make everybody do everything, and they have to do it, you're going to have a game almost everybody's not going to enjoy, because there'll be some element where they don't. Now, if you can figure out some way to take all these diverse elements and pick your path to do it, that's fine. And regarding, that's where being an ambassador comes in here. What you want to do is find those things, the rule of 5, my personal take, and feel free to post below comments on what you think of this, about where I want to connect with other people and play. My designs are kind of limited in the niche what I'm working on. I'm looking out to branch out more. But I'm working with standard equipment, but I just don't do chess variants. I do different card games. I try to add a little bit of intelligence to it, engagement that way, just not strictly something purely mindless, although I have a massive multiplayer rock, paper, scissors. Again, that's a hack. But I'm going to go a little bit more about the history of board games and stuff and what we've seen here, looking at war games. You had a little bit of history. You started out, guys came back from World War II, these veterans, and they wanted to do war stuff. So we had Avalon Hill. SPI came along, they had it. And in that environment, along with the miniatures, usually had veterans, World War I, World War II, you had veterans, they want to do it. It's interesting, H.G. Wells also was a pacifist, but an interest in war, and somebody in peace likes to study war, but anyhow, you had these guys that are playing. In that environment, with the miniatures, gave birth to chainmail. You had role playing, and then that led to TSR, which I believe bought Avalon Hill. Hasbro actually bought Avalon Hill, but anyhow, they also bought, TSR got bought up by Wizards of the Coast. There you go. They had that Wizard, and you had this, and you went from war games to role playing games, and you had the trading card games came later. But anyhow, I'm going to give what happened with war games. The guys had it, and it was they had a niche. They had these early introductory games, and I remember reading one article about a guy thought it was a realistic thing, and then he realized it was all fake, but hexes, dice, and all that. And the guys played it, and they, hexes and dice, and they got into it. And to compete for that same dollar, the games started getting more and more exclusive and inaccessible to the people who were there, new. Stop bringing new people in. They tried to do some things there, but the games got more and more complicated and everything else, and became more exclusive and really screened people out, and then people stopped coming. So you have to be accessible. And I think of video game industry now. Excuse me one second. Just tweaking that. Think about the video game industry now. I'm thinking about what you have here with the AAA area. The open world and sandbox and buying DLC. You can be a person who plays only one game and really dedicate that. I know the guys who play like Advanced Squad Leader, and God bless you, you do that. It's like phone books worth of rules. Level upon level. Kurt Schilling, the former pitcher, by the way, the studio, I think it was Kingdom of Amalur or whatever else, was his game. It was like Studio 40 or something. Go look up Kurt Schilling and see what happened. Anyhow, it was Multi-Man Publishing. He bought up and saved ASL after Avalon Hill got bought up. Hasbro sold stuff off. So anyhow, he bought up ASL, and that's just a sidebar. But anyhow, yeah, guys did ASL. And let's get back to video games for a second. This open world stuff. You buy a game with a free-to-play, and they see the money's in that. So what they're doing here is they want you to buy one game and then keep buying content for it. You don't play anything else. With the mid-tier level dying, you don't have mid-level. You have indie and small, so there's a gap. It's a large studio, and you have all these people working on it. They want something else, and you get dedicated to that one game. And they put so much money, they want to appeal to everybody. So that's another issue you have, and then you're going to have a blanding of it and a loss of genres. And that's a problem. Because if you're a person who plays games, you're a player, you're not, you could argue this, but if your focus is in wanting to play something, and you haven't, you're looking for new stuff, I can't guarantee, I could be fairly sure there's every single game under the planet you're not going to want to play, and those new media types believe that you can play anything else. David Cage thinks if you like Call of Duty, what can happen, that, yeah, we can get you to play David Cage's Dragon's Lair rehashed with better writing or whatever else he did. It's not going to happen. But anyhow, I think we should start wrapping up here. I'm going to start rambling, but anyhow, with this stuff here, there's genres. You want to be accessible to people. One thing that'd be helpful here, if people find out, is to bring back genres and have that. If you blend everything together, it's not going to go across. And to presume this is it. People play different things. People have different interests. There are different motivations for why you'll play something. Social reasons, challenge reasons, superiority, different gamer types, You have different skills you want to demonstrate. There's different areas of engagement and stuff. But anyhow, I think I'm going to wind down here. So back to my rule of 5. That's where I am with game stuff. And this is where we can go back. Any of the points here, feel free to discuss below. Let's have a good discussion. But my basic rule, if you want to be ambassador for growth, is I want to 5 games. 5 things I can do with people we both enjoy it. Any occasion, every situation. 5 Christmas games, 5 holiday season games, 5 Thanksgiving games, all that. Have it fit. So, we'll look to discuss more, and this is just something I want to get out. This is about double my length of my other video here, but I did this video. This is not scripted. This is just me off the cuff. And please post comments below. That's my rule of 5. 5 games for any occasion. I can play with people, enjoy it. And as I said earlier, games are a different medium than anything else out there. Outside of anything creating, but you're creating an experience when you play. It really, the best of games will call out of you the best of who you are, as far as character. So anyhow, as far as your skill and competency. So, okay, that's it. I do want to thank you for watching. Post comments below. I do want to thank you for watching. My name's Rich, and may your die always roll 5. We're done.